When looking at some of the greatest players in sports, you typically think these players are making millions of dollars. Guys like LeBron James, Mike Trout, and Lionel Messi are the prime example of athletes who strive in their sport and receive plenty of money. Well, one NFL player who recently got a bag after putting up incredible numbers was possibly the future of the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts. Hurts has been capable of helping the Eagles go from a mediocre franchise to one of the best in football. He played so well last season in Philly that he placed second for MVP voting and third for Offensive Player of the Year. Due to a spectacular performance, the Eagles gave him a vast reward. Hurts agreed to stay in Philadelphia for another 5 years and will make a total of $255 million, which now means Jalen Hurts is the new protagonist in Philly. So let me ask the question, how did Jalen Hurts turn into one of the most dominant NFL QBs in the league and one of the most paid athletes in sports? Well, let's find out. Jalen Hurts was born and raised in Houston, Texas. Hurts had that father-son connection when in high school, as his father was the coach of the team. Hurts balled out in high school as he threw for over 2,300 yards with 26 touchdown passes. He was insane and looked like a true MVP. By playing this well in high school, scouts would notice the man and try to recruit him. Alabama came out on top as he chose to attend the school. Hurts went all 4 years to college and was looking good. In his first season there, he threw for over 2,700 yards with 23 touchdowns and just 9 interceptions. That is a stacked stat sheet. He would continue that as the next season, he threw for another 2,000 yards with 17 touchdowns and just 1 interception. But then came 2018, when a certain event made Jalen Hurts look really bad. Alabama dominated in 2018 with an overall record of 14-1. Alabama would make it to the college football playoff championship game where they were playing against none other than Georgia. Hurts struggled in the first half of the game. He went 3 for 8 with just 21 yards in the first half. Because of a disappointing outing, Hurts was benched in the second half and instead Tua Tagovailoa replaced him. Hurts looked awful in that game. He did not seem like a man capable of playing in the NFL. I can assure you teams would not want a guy like that on their team. But Hurts pushed through it and worked harder to reach the next level. 2019 would be his final season in Alabama, and this was where he went off. A little under 4,000 yards with 32 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. That is incredible to say the least. That was the kind of quarterback NFL teams were looking for. A guy who can truly take over and control the game his way. When looking at his scouting report, for the most part, it was looking good. He received an overall grade of 85 and was compared to Dak Prescott and Taysom Hill. His main problem in college was struggling to have a lot of passing accuracy, but that improves when matched with the right coach. Jalen Hurts was drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles in the second round of the 2020 NFL Draft. When Hurts first came to the Eagles, he was a third string behind Nate Sudfeld and Carson Wentz. As we all know, Carson Wentz underperformed like crazy in Philly, which eventually caused for him to no longer be on the team. Hurts would eventually get some action as on December 6, 2020, he came in for Wentz against the Green Bay Packers. He threw for 109 passing yards with a touchdown and a loss against them. But this was just the start to something great for Jalen. Hurts started in 4 games in 2020 and ended with a little over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions, which isn't great as PFF gave him a grade of 56.2. Hurts knew he had to improve, and 2020 cannot happen again. He would work hard during the offseason and turn into a beast in 2021. He threw for over 3,100 passing yards with 16 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. That is huge improvement for a guy like Jalen. PFF gave him a grade of 80.8, which is basically 81. Hurts was starting to look like he was here to stay in Philly, and that the Eagles did a good job selecting him in the draft. But he still hasn't done that one key thing, and that was make the Eagles become a top team in the league. If he can prove to the league he can do that, he would receive all the praise in the world. Well, 2022 was the year where Hurts told all the haters and doubters to sit down, and that he was here to stay. He made his first Pro Bowl and threw for over 3,700 yards with 22 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. He played so well that the Eagles finished the season going 15-3 and made it to the Super Bowl, but sadly lost by 3 to the Kansas City Chiefs. Hurts placed second for MVP voting, third for Offensive Player of the Year, and second for NFL All-Pros, right behind the guy that beat him, Patrick Mahomes. Hurts received a PFF grade of 86, which is really good. He has shown enough proof to the league how good of a player he is. One problem that occurred though was the fact his contract was expiring soon. A man this talented, this dominant, who can turn a franchise around would deserve to get a lot of money, right? Well, this offseason, he agreed to stay in Philly for 5 years, $255 million. That's $179.3 million guaranteed, plus a $23 million signing bonus and an annual salary of $51 million. Jalen Hurts has basically turned into the future of the NFL. This man has shown everyone he is a top QB in the league, especially Tua. No, I'm just kidding. But Hurts is why the Eagles are now top dogs in the league. Looking at Hurts' story shows you how you can retaliate off of anything. Hurts underperformed in one of the biggest games of his football career and got benched on national television. But did that stop him from improving? No. He worked hard, and look at him now. He is now one of the most paid athletes in sports. Truly a remarkable story, and the best part about it is that it's just getting started.